Hey guys, how are we going today? Hope we're all having a lovely day. I don't think I've ever filmed a declutter video before. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago I was going through all of the makeup that I own and I realised that there are quite a few products here in my drawers that I just don't like, that I will probably never use. And, you know, there's a couple of others that, yes, I've gotten some use out of them, but for one reason or another, I don't want anymore and I just want to get rid of. So I've kind of been going through and I popped everything in a little basket and I've had it sitting on my desk here for a few weeks. And I thought to myself, if I really, really want it, or need it for some reason, I would grab it and I would, keep it. And the more and more I've been thinking about it, all of the products in here, there's probably only two that I would consider keeping, but it's not for the right reasons. And I can justify decluttering it and throwing it away. So I've got all of my little items in here that I'm going to go through and we'll get rid of. So I'm just going to pull everything out and pop it all down here on my desk so that I can see it, and then I can just toss the whole thing straight in the bin. First item that I'm getting rid of is a Mary Kay highlighter. So this is the Sheer Dimensions powder and it's in the shade Pearls. I did have another two of these. One was in an orange and one was in a like bronzer shade, but this one is a highlighter and it's pink. And yes, it looks beautiful when it's sheared out. So let's blend that out a little bit. It does look pretty, but it's very powdery, it's very glittery, and I just don't use it. I think I've used this once or twice, or I've kind of gone to use it and swatched it and then like, oh no, I'll pick something better, pick something a bit different. Sorry, I'm just going to wipe that off my hand because it's creeping me out. I don't wear pink highlighters, so I prefer, more champagne, more nudie kind of shades. I'm not, into the bright purple ones or ones that definitely have that pink sheen in it and pink color in it. I'm just not going to use it. And not to mention the fact that it is probably 4 or 5 years old, probably older than that. I'm never going to use it. I'll just get rid of it. And while I was looking at my highlighters, liquid highlighters, I just don't use them. I just don't like them. I mean, they are pretty shades. Revolution liquid highlighter in Liquid Ethereal, although once again, this is a pink highlighter. The Appeal Cosmetics one is probably a shade that I would wear, but she has chunky glitter in them. So let me just pop some of these out. So this is the Revolution one. And you can definitely see the difference between the Mary Kay one and the Revolution one. And this is highlighty highlight, but still in, a pinky, almost lavendery shade. I'm never going to wear that. And not to mention the Appeal Cosmetics. I'm trying to suck some out. Look at that. That's not liquid anymore. It's not even that it's not liquid anymore. This is how it arrived to me. Like I got this in, I think it was a Bella box. And like, it's not a liquid, it's a chunky monkey from Funky Town. So, let's pop that there. It is a better shade for me. Like you can see, it's gorgeous. It is highlighting, but then when I hold it that way, it is way too dark for my skin as well. And I'm going to try and you can see when I blend that out, it gets really patchy and there's chunks of glitter in it. So I'm never going to wear them, so they're gone. I'm sick of keeping makeup in my drawers that I'm just not going to use. And another one of those items is my Essence lip liner. Now this I had been trying to get the most use out of last year and pan, and I did use it a few times, but pretty much the only option with this is for if I'm just going down the street for half an hour or so, just pop this on and then lip gloss over the top. Any longer than that and I pretty much would need to reapply anyway, and I'm not taking this and a lip gloss with me. I may as well just take a lipstick and I can just chuck that on. So it's in the shade, I think, number 6, Satin Mauve. It is pretty. I mean, it is pretty. I'm going to pop it there, but wow, that came out really dark there. Let's just try and lighten that a little bit. Like, it's really pretty, but I don't wear lip liner. And I'm not particularly a fan of how drying this is. Whenever I would put this on my lips, it would be really, really dry. I do have I think 2 Colourpop lip liners, and I'm, going to try and get as much use out of them this year as possible as well. I don't know why I keep buying lip liners if I don't wear them. So she's gone. The next one is my Body Shop Eye Definer pencil. I was trying to get as much use out of this last year as I could as well. Just one of those, try and pan it to get rid of it. It's pretty good. It's really dark. It's really smooth and creamy. Gives a definitely good pigmentation there as well. I don't think that there was any particular shade for this one. I think it was just black. I don't know. And I would pretty much only use this for tight lining as well anyway, and in the waterline. But I have noticed the past few times that I had been using it that it was making my eyes really itchy over night time, even after I'd taken all my makeup off. So I figured it was probably time to let it go. I don't necessarily prefer eyeliners that have to be sharpened. I like the, wind up sticky ones. So I haven't used it in the past few weeks. I do have another pencil liner as well from Sephora, and in a year I still didn't use this one up. It's probably getting close to expired anyway, and my Sephora one will probably expire within the next year, so I want to get as much use out of that as I can. The next one is my W7 Bow to the Brow. It's basically an eyebrow, it says eyebrow thickener, but it's basically just an eyebrow powder that is on a little just kind of sticky thing here. It's not bad, but it's just not the right shade for me, and when I put it in, really the only section of my eyebrows that I need to darken is right here where it's a little thin. But even then I don't do that most of the time. I mean, to me, brows are just, I just don't really do my brows at all. They're pretty thick as it is, and yeah, I just do that. Actually, while I'm at it, I do have a Mary Kay brow definer pencil. This is in the shade Classic Blonde. I'm going to draw it here right beside the black eyeliner. Definitely way too light for me, but that would be fine for my mum. So I'm getting rid of that and giving that to mum. Oh yes, this one is my Mary Kay Perfecting Concealer. Love, 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 love this. It is perfect. It is amazing. I've been using this consistently over the past year. It's the only concealer I have used in 2020. I think I maybe used one of my other concealers once, but the rest of the time it was just this. It got to the point I took the stopper out of this because there's that little of it left. Kind of grossed me out though, because I know how old this is. This is probably 2 or 3 years old. And when I went to put it on, I think about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, there was a hair or something inside of it. So I figured, considering how old it is, and that I have used this consistently. I have gotten the most use out of it the last year that I possibly could. I had to take the stopper out. It was down to like the last few scrapes of the tube in here. There's something gross in it. I'm getting rid of it. You know, I don't feel guilty or feel bad about getting rid of this. Like, I feel kind of bad that I didn't get to use the entire thing. But I've gotten as much use out of it as I can. I've definitely gotten my money's worth, and it's probably expired too. So she's going. The next ones are kind of the ones that I do feel guilty about, and they're all lipsticks. So I'm going to start with this one. Neighbours are doing something outside and there was a big boom. So this is the I Heart Revolution, what's it called? Unique Unicorns Lipstick in Fantasy Realm. This was in my recent video for makeup that has disappointed me. I'm going to show you why. It is a gross, horrible purple with glitter in it. When it wears down, it smears glitter all over your face. This was pretty much one that I was just keeping in my drawer for my daughter to use, and even then, every time she used it, she ended up just with glitter all over her face, and it kind of annoyed her as well. So we both agreed last week that we can get rid of it. I don't feel bad about that. It only cost me a couple of dollars anyway, and it's crap. I'm never going to wear it. She's never going to wear it again. Get rid of it. The next two... This is really annoying me. It's just not going to stay. The next two are some Mary Kay lipsticks. I can't remember. I think one of these was meant to be matte or like semi-matte, and the other one was semi-shiny. I can't remember. I have the shades Romantic Pink and Mauve Moment. Romantic Pink, I have been trying to kind of use, but it's just not the right shade of... Oh God, I love the smell of these. They smell divine, but it's time to go. So Romantic Pink is just the wrong shade of pink for me. And when I put it on, it looks like I ate a pink crayon. So it's time for her to go. You know, I'm not going to use it again. I do have a couple of other pinks that I have and that I will keep using, but this one, I just can't make it work, and it's expired anyway. You know, I wrote down all the manufacture dates, and I'm pretty sure I've had that one for about 5 years anyway, so it's time for her to go. The next one is the shade Mauve Moment. I love this. I really do. This is like one of the great nudes. It snapped the other day when I was trying to put it on just to check something. Anyway, so it is a really beautiful nude. It is a pink based nude, but not... They get everywhere. That's another thing that annoys me about these two, is they get on everything. You can see it's slightly darker than that pink, which makes it more wearable. I would happily have kept this one until I had completely used it all. But I wore it last week and I was, you know, driving along. I'd had it on for probably half an hour. And I looked in the, you know, vanity mirror in the car. I had the thing down and caught a glimpse of myself, and I had yellow all along the inside of my lip. And I thought, oh God, was that something I ate earlier? That's embarrassing. And it was kind of like the yellow that you get from the pollen inside of flowers and like, you know, lilies. The pollen stems in those, how they stain everything like an orangey yellow. So I wiped it off and I kind of scrubbed the yellow off with a serviette while I was still in the car. I put some more of it back on. By the time we got to where we were going, which was probably only 10 minutes later, it was back again. And I thought, oh my God, it's probably the lipstick because I've had it that long. This is probably the same. I got it at the same time as this one. I'm pretty sure they were manufactured around the same time. I got 4 of them all at the same time, and they all did have different manufacture dates, but you know, that's fine, that's understandable. And it was just so embarrassing. I'm like, oh my god, I've got, you know, yellow all over the inside of my mouth, and I realized it was probably the pigments breaking down. And I thought, oh, maybe it's just because it's mixing with my saliva, whatever. You know, I thought that's fine, I can just get rid of it. I've had it for that long anyway, and I'm pretty sure I have a few other colours that are similar to this anyway, so it's no big deal. You know, I don't mind. I don't want to be putting anything on me that's going to leave embarrassing colours all over me. She is beautiful, but I do have a couple of others that are fairly similar, and I'm fine with that. I wanted to test it though anyway to see if it was actually this, or if it was maybe a combination of this and the lip gloss that I had on over the top, which was I think NARS Orgasm lip gloss. I thought maybe it was a combination of kind of both of those, but a couple of days after that I tried this on just while I was sitting at home. And yeah, went to the bathroom about 15 minutes later and I had yellow all around the inside of my lips. So she's expired, starting to break down. It was really weird. It looked like I had bright red on the outside but yellow on the inside of my lips, and it just was not a good look at all. So the next 2 are the ones that I kind of want to keep. And they're both Revolution lipsticks. So this one is the Amazing Lipstick in the shade Crush. And this is the Pro Lipstick Matte Nude in the shade Protect. Now I do love both of these. They are both gorgeous nude shades. So this is the shade Protect. And this is the shade Crush. And they are fairly similar. I think this one is a little bit more nude-ish and this one is more like mauve-ish. But, you know, you can see I do tend to gravitate for lipsticks that are all fairly similar. This one I got a lot of use out of last year. It was just my everyday lipstick that was in my handbag. I kind of wanted to use this one up before I used this one because this one was more, you know, true nude as opposed to the mauvey nude. So I was focusing on, you know, using these up last year, and I was going to focus on using them up this year. And I looked in my drawer and I realized I have so many other lipsticks that I just love and that I've spent so much more on. Like this one came in an advent calendar and this one came in a set of 5. I got rid of the other 4 because they just were all awful shades on me. They were all nudes, but they were all horrible on me. This was the only one that looked good. But even then, if I worked it out, I probably only paid, you know, a couple of dollars for each of these. And that's great. Like, it's great value. It's great, you know, to get that much of a bargain from them. But I have so many other lipsticks in my drawers that I love more. These were just those ones that, yeah, they're just everyday nudes that I'll just put on just to use them up and get rid of them. And I don't want to be wearing makeup just to get rid of it. And I've spent so much money on the makeup that I have and so much money on the lipsticks that I have and lipsticks that I love more. Like, I'm going to give you just a couple of examples. You know, I've got all of my ColourPop lipsticks that I love. My Belle shade, my Bury Me In lipstick shade, the Flynn shade from the Disney designer. I have a Bite lip crayon that I love. You know, even my glosses, if I can get them out. I have an ABH gloss. I have my ColourPop glosses that I love. And you know, all of these shades, beautiful shades. And it was part of the reason why I was also focusing on a Revolution sheer lip gloss last year, was just to get rid of them. And I've realized that, you know, this makeup, all my good lipsticks, is sitting in my drawers, not going used, aging and getting closer and closer to expiring, while I'm focusing on you know, cheap lipsticks that I'm just using to get rid of. I would rather have one of my good nude lipsticks be my everyday lipstick that I use and use and use and love and love and love until it's gone, and then move on to something else that I use and love until it's gone. Then, you know, focus on cheap lipsticks that I'm okay with, that yes, I like, but I don't love, and then end up having to throw these out because they expire. So not going to happen. I've had these sitting in the drawer, in the basket here, and there were a couple of times where I thought, oh, I'll just go and grab that one. I'll just go and grab that one because I know it works. I know it goes with everything. You know, I've worn it just about every day of last year. I know it's going to work. And then I thought to myself, you know what? No, I'm going to grab something new and something different from my drawer that I may have only worn once or twice. And then I can get more use out of that and see if it will work with that look. See if it will work with those clothes. See if it will work in that situation. And I would rather do that and focus on using the makeup that I love, even if it means panning something and never being able to find that shade again because it's a limited edition. But even then, if that makeup expires, I'm never going to be able to find it again because it's a limited edition, and then I've basically just wasted my money on it, not being able to get the use out of it when it's something that I love. So my main focus for this year is using the makeup that I love and using the makeup that I have spent a lot of money on but didn't get any use out of last year because I was focusing on using up the shitty products that I wanted to get rid of. So this year, if I come across any shitty products that I want to get rid of because I'm not using them and because I don't particularly like them, I'm just going to get rid of them. And that way I can keep the products that I love, that I've spent a lot of money on, and also not try and buy as many shitty products. Like, only buy the things that I really, really love. Even if they're more expensive, don't buy the cheap, shitty ones instead. So, and just to show you what I meant about those lipsticks breaking down, I don't know if you can see it. Let me just turn that off. See the yellow marks on there? That was that lipstick breaking down. So, good times. I'm not putting that on my face. If you have any comments, anything you'd like to ask, any questions, please feel free to comment down below. But until then, I'll talk to you next time.